What up, folks? I am ultrazillatoys. Today I have a review of the Bandai movie monster series, TITANOSAURUS. That's right, my zillions. From Terra of Mechagodzilla, we finally have TITANOSAURUS back in the movie monster series. And I say back because I'm not sure if it was movie monster series, the first TITANOSAURUS, or if it was just Bandai, if it predates the movie monster series, and I'm not 100% sure about the designation names of the things, but there was a figure. I've seen it a million times at Book Off, way too expensive in the aftermarket, and it was one that I've always wanted. I flirted with getting it, I'll be honest, even at like $100+, but I never did. I can't do that. But I hoped that, we'd get one, and we did. It is a different color than the original, though. I think it's pretty good color-wise. I think it works. So I'm very, very stoked to get this mold in the collection. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is my first TITANOSAURUS figure, period. It's strange. But every so often, I'm like, I pick up a figure, I'm like, holy cow, is that my first of this kaiju? Which, as far as the Godzilla ones go, it's crazy to me that I have no representation of a couple of them still. And this was one of them. What are the other ones? I don't know. Don't put me on the spot. I can't remember. But I am very, very happy to finally get this. I got this at the Godzilla US store, which is very cool. They got it in, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger on this and a few others that you've all seen already before. So this is the final of that order. So, it's very interesting looking. It's not perfect, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how I feel exactly about that paint. This is the card, though. It looks pretty cool. So without any further ado, let's get to this review. So let's take a look at this guy in full. First up, I think the proportions are pretty good. It looks the part. He's got that, those trademark thighs. It looks good in those terms. As far as articulation, the head moves, the arms move, and the legs move. I don't think this tail moves, so yeah. There's that. It is what it is. We saw the card. It looks pretty good. Get it out of the way. Not taking it off. But this guy's got some nice gold here in the middle. It's a nice sculpt. The gold looks pretty good. It's like a dirty looking gold. You know what I'm saying? But it looks pretty decent. All on the neck, sprayed down. I don't kind of like how this looks right here. It just looks like a blob of black right there. It's on both sides, though, so I guess it's fine. But, whatever. The gold goes all the way down to the tail, where it just kind of gradiates out, which is nice. The rest of the tail. You got all these little, like, osteoderm bumps. And there's like a spray black over everything. This is what I was kind of alluding to. It's kind of almost sloppy looking, but at the same time organic. It kind of looks inky. But just like some spots just look a little bit dirtier than others. It's fine, but I definitely had to mention it because I get what they were trying to go for, but in some spots it just looks dirty more than anything. The rest of the tail is a very nice sculpt. The big, fin-like tail is very, very cool. I like how it looks. There's no real gradation here between the two colors. It's kind of like, it's kind of one sprayed on top of the other. So it doesn't look quite good, but it's okay. This kind of like pink onto the like eggshell looking color. Then you got these yellows and what I guess is probably more of the pink strewn about. You got it here, you got a little bit there. On the legs, it's pretty prominently like blended together, one on the other. Again, a little bit sloppy, but the sculpt is really nice under it. It does look pretty good. The nails look pretty decent. Feet have nothing going on the bottom, but the legs overall do look pretty good. And again, I really like the shape of them. It's, trademark TITANOSAURUS. The arms look pretty good too. You get the same paint going on, the yellows, the pinks. and then the black kind of inky look, which is not symmetrical. It's like, you know, different wherever you look. On the back here, you know, you got more of that paint going about. It's weirdly placed everywhere, but I don't know. I could deal with it. The dorsal fin looks pretty decent. It's the same thing that's going on with the tail. I'd say it's blended a little bit better on the dorsals. You can see that it looks a little bit. I don't know why it just looks like straight line right there on that one, but over here, it's actually blended quite nicely, and that goes all the way up to the top there, just pretty good. And then the neck looks very nice. He's got a nice long neck, as Titanosaurus does. The ears look pretty good. Ear fins, whatever. The horns are not bad. Not bad. I don't recall the horns looking quite like that. They're very thick, as you can see here. They're not like that, really. Very, very thick horns on this Titanosaurus. It's supposed to be skinnier, but I guess you can't really make it like that. But it's good enough, I guess. And then the head sculpt, you know, the face looks pretty good. The yellow across the eye is a little bit odd. Let's see there. It's not supposed to be as yellow. But the eye itself looks pretty good on that side. Like gold eye here. Get him in there. That as well. Looks pretty good from the front too. Looks kind of like Jeffrey a little bit from Toys R Us. The mouth looks pretty decent. His little tongue is sticking out. You can't really tell because they didn't really pick it out in any color, but it's there. A little forked tongue. The teeth are done pretty fairly well though. So I don't know. It's good enough. You know, like the paint, it's weird. It's like it works, and it sort of doesn't. It's like too neat in spots, and then too sloppy in others. But this paint throughout, like you can't fault that. Like he is fully painted, and that's something that I think is very, very good. Sometimes you don't see that with MMS figures, and this one is definitely like filled to the top and bottom with paint. So I'll give it that. Comparison here is Titanosaurus. First, with all of the other figures I picked up from the Godzilla store in one nice little order. I definitely enjoyed that for sure. Much easier to do, and it feels better. Feels better on the wallet to get it from the US store. But yeah, he's the tallest one here. Definitely not the widest, but the tallest. And for a better size comparison, here is Titanosaurus with Mechagodzilla 2 from the movie Monster series. This was, I believe, like the battle damage version or something. And in lieu of not having a 75 here, here is the 73. I still have to get it's 74, right? The one they put out after this. I could be wrong. But you know, it's the same era, so it works. It works enough. He's just not as mean yet, but it works. I will get that other one. It was one that I really, really wanted to get right away, being that this era of Godzilla is my favorite design-wise. It just didn't happen because, like everything else, I just kind of didn't get any movie monster series towards the end of last year. So we'll see. You know, for most of the year actually. We'll see. Maybe the U.S. store can pop him up too. That would be my preferred route right now. I'll tell you that. And my final thoughts, you know, first and foremost, I'm really, really happy to have a Titanosaurus figure. It is awesome. It's well overdue. So this is awesome in that regard. Now, you know, my opinion on the paint varies. Like, I like it and I don't. And, you know, for everything I pointed out here, it looks too clean and too sloppy in spots. It's very odd, but it works. You know, it still does work. It's totally Titanosaurus. So I'm glad to have it. That's really the bottom line. And that is like the last of these MMS figures that I just recently picked up that I'm reviewing. And it's been fun to get back into it. And I will be getting more. So you do stay tuned for more Movie Monster series figures as the year goes on, whether it's like ones that came out already or ones that are going to be new. I don't know. We'll see, you know, but I'm at this point in my collecting life, I don't feel the need to grab these right away anymore. Like, if I could get them, I get them. If I can't, I can't. You know, I've mentioned somewhere in these reviews that I just don't want to pay import shipping on the movie Monster Series figures anymore, if that makes sense. Like, maybe if I'm getting something already, I could pop it in there together, but individually, never happening, and even together, I just don't feel like doing it. Like, I don't know. But getting them from a US source, like the Godzilla store, totally fine with it. So, you know, here's hoping they keep putting more new ones in there, even if they're, you know, somewhat late. I'm fine with picking them up. And there you go. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.